And welcome everyone to this afternoon's session on an orientation to the Online Faculty Certification Program training course. I'm just going to start out by giving a broad overview of the course, how to get started, and then I'll start taking specific questions about how to fulfill whichever assignments you may be having questions about. I know we'll talk about the 2.7 video assignment, so we'll get that one taken care of as quickly as possible. But I'd like to preserve time because I know a lot of people who are past that and who have questions about some of the later assignments as well. But let me get started by sharing my screen here with you. And pulling up Canvas, which I've done, but let me back out one step because I saw a question in the chat tool there that suggested there might be some confusion about accessing Canvas. Our Canvas system can be accessed at the following web address, sdccd.instructure.com. And I'm muting, we're getting a little background noise. I'm muting everyone, but you can unmute yourselves, and please do so when you have a question to ask. And just kind of take turns. I'll take them as they come in. So again, the web address for Canvas is sdccd.instructure, name of the company that makes Canvas.com. Let me put that in the chat tool. To make sure there's no problem there. And the easiest way to do that, and you don't, let's see, I don't need that. There we go. Just put that in the address line in your web browser and press enter, and you'll be right there. There it is in the chat tool. Remember, if you're on a computer, you can save that chat log at any time during the meeting, and multiple times if something else comes up, by looking for the little menu button in the lower right-hand corner of the chat window. It's 3 dots in a row. If you click on it, well, let's see, I think you can see that now. I think I have my settings on Zoom corrected for that. You can click on this little menu button down here and save chat. And it will acknowledge that. Chat is saved, and if you want to see where it is on your computer, you now have this show in folder, which I just lost because I talked about it too long. But that link will take you right to where the chat log is stored in your File Explorer or your Finder, your file manager on your computer. It is stored in the default document directory on your PC or your Mac in a folder called Zoom. And it'll be in a subfolder under Zoom that has today's date and roughly 2 o'clock is the time, and 1400 hours, 24-hour time. Here's mine. 2020 6/9, and I started the recording at 13:50, or we started the meeting rather at 13:59. And if we open that up, here's your chat log. It's called meeting saved chat.txt, and you should just be able to double click on it, and there's the chat log. That may be useful, and I trust everyone saw that. If I start talking about something, because Zoom is updating things so rapidly right now that sometimes capabilities change from day to day. If I'm talking about something and you can't see it, or it doesn't make any sense, please let me know right away. I don't want to be running off thinking I'm imparting some knowledge that I'm not. So I would appreciate that very much. So once we get to Canvas, the Canvas login page with this URL, you'll use your 10-digit PeopleSoft employee ID as your username, and your password will be initially set to your birth date, your 8-digit birth date, month, day, year, and that is specified down here on the login page. It does have to be 8 digits, so if you have a single digit month or day, you have to put a 0 in front. So June 1st, 2020 would be 06/01/2020, and a 4-digit year. They're determined to avoid the Y3K problem next time, like any of us are going to care. All right, so then you just click login, and you should go to the Canvas dashboard, and you'll see the courses that you're enrolled in. If you're enrolled in the Online Faculty Certification Program, you should see this graphic or one very much like it. And check the label down below. This is the 2019-2020, the current cohort of this training course. The next one will, of course, start on July 1st or shortly thereafter. And you can sign up for it, I believe, Trenton, is it the 20th enrollment begins for that, or has that been finally decided?
I believe it's the 18th. We'll start enrollments.
You can enroll on the 18th. We had a question.
The form is available, and people can start enrolling. The forms are available to enroll in the next cohort. It just won't start until the 8th.
They won't be able to access it until they will be able to access it on the 18th?
No, they'll start on the 1st.
Right.
They can start enrolling now, basically.
Oh, cool. Would you mind throwing that link in there in the chat tool? Thank you. So you can sign up anytime, but you can't start working until the 1st. And again, if you're in the current, if you've registered for the current cohort for the 1920 academic year, you'll need to finish all of your assignments by June 30th, or you'll have to start over again. Not that you'll lose access to the, they'll still have access to the current cohort shell. It'll go to read only, I presume, at that point in time. So you could at least see what you'd submitted and move it forward, but that will be up to you. In this case, you'll have to move anything that you've submitted forward into the new shell and so on in order to continue, or in order to start working and continue working in the new shell. So, but if you are currently enrolled in this cohort, you should see this tile on your dashboard. It says Online Faculty Certification Program 2019-2020. You should also have a practice course shell, a so-called generic development shell that you can use along with this training course. Because in the training course, you are enrolled as a student. And while you can do many things in that training course and submit assignments and take quizzes and participate in discussions within that course shell, there are certain activities that you're going to be asked to perform that require teacher or instructor status in a Canvas shell. And for that, you've been provided, you will be provided, or have been provided, with a generic development shell. It's not associated with any of the courses that you teach. It's just a practice shell that you will use to carry out certain assignments in. And then you'll go back to the training course, this shell right here, and report that you've done so in various ways according to the instructions for each particular assignment or quiz. So let's take a quick look at this course here to make sure that everybody knows what it looks like and can get started. That's our number one task here, is to make sure that anybody who's just getting into this knows how to begin. When you get to the home page of the training course, you'll first see the 3 most recent announcements. You can, of course, go over here to the course menu, to the announcements link, and see previous announcements, but the 3 most recent will be displayed automatically at the top of the page. And then they've done a great job of making this, streamlining this as much as possible. There's just 4 tasks, your startup tasks that you're asked to perform here on the home page. One is to look at the announcements we just talked about. There's a welcome letter. Just some very quick basic information. One of the things I love most about Canvas is that you can use the back button on the browser, web browser, without destroying your navigation in most cases. There we are, back to the home page. Check the syllabus. And here it is. And we'll talk about some of this as we enter the course here today. And once you've read the syllabus, you start by clicking on the link to take you to the first module in the course. And here we are in the modules tool. You'll initially only have access to the first module. As you complete the first module, you'll gain access to the second, and so on as you go along. There are checkpoints in these modules that you must reach and accomplish before you can move on. And that's part of the online pedagogy that the folks who wrote the course are demonstrating, recommending. But there are 7 modules. Each module covers a separate topic area within the course. The first module is the orientation to the course. Tells you how the course is going to work, what you're going to be asked to do, and gives you some things to practice with, like you have a non-graded quiz where you get to practice taking a Canvas quiz before you actually get a grade on one. And then the remaining modules include distance education guidelines. This is more reading than anything else, becoming aware of the regulatory environment in which distance education exists in the state of California, and the rules that we're all, and guidelines that we're all required to follow. Module 3 deals with the techniques for putting yourself into your course, so-called humanizing the course. Making yourself an active and visible part of your online course rather than letting the course just run on its own on autopilot. The importance of that to your students' success is reflected by how early in the training course we introduce this. So this is really important. This may have as much bearing, the material in this module may have as much bearing on your students' eventual success in an online course as anything else in the course. The students will forgive you if you're a little uncertain with some of the nuts and bolts of Canvas. They understand that you're learning this at the same time they're learning your subject. And they're remarkably patient in most cases about that. But if they can't feel you and see you and hear you in that course, your chances of losing them are much higher. So this is really critical. Then module 4 talks about effective online course design. And of course, a big part of this entire training course is to demonstrate some of the best practices, or some of the goals of this are to demonstrate best practices in course design. But this goes into detail about how to design a course that will work for you and for your students. Then in modules 5 and 6, you get into the nuts and bolts, deeply into the nuts and bolts of Canvas, how to find the levers and which way to pull and which buttons to push and so on. This is critical that you know this. I mean, you've got to be able to operate Canvas because it's going to be an essential part of any online course. We hope it won't be the only part of your online course. We hope you'll do things like this with your students as well, because this synchronous interaction, even recordings of it, are critical to humanizing your course. But Canvas will be the core, particularly of the assessment part of your course, where you assess students' learning. You can't really do that through Zoom. Canvas provides marvelous tools for that, and you'll get a chance to practice with those tools in modules 5 and 6. 6 has the single greatest concentration of assignment activities that you have to perform, so it takes a while to do. And then module 7 is basically just a mop-up. We give you a last review of critical regulations, and then there's a certification statement where we ask you to aver that you're going to do things in a certain way. And then there's some helpful material in for Canvas support and resources and so on at the bottom. But module 7 is the end of the active part of the course. This is an example of what's called modular course design. The links here are grouped by topic. When you design your course, you may group them by week or by chapter in the textbook or by topic like this, but you have some logical roadmap for your course in your mind that you've always used in class, and your course modules that you create in Canvas will hopefully reflect that and be constructed accordingly. But the idea behind these modules is that the student should never have to go anywhere else, almost never have to go over into the course menu and start looking around for the next thing to do, or a resource that they need, or a quiz that they need to take, or whatever. Links to everything they need hopefully will be in the course modules as near as possible, so that all they really have to do to finish your course is to start at the top of module 1 or the first module, whatever you call the first module, and work their way down to the bottom. And when they get to the bottom, they should be done. And that's how it will work for you. You start up here and just follow the modules down. You'll be in great shape. And of course, if you have questions along the way, we'll be here to answer them as well. This is a graded instructor moderated course. It's not it is self-paced, but it is not running on autopilot. You will get grades. You'll get feedback on your assignments. It's as much as anything else to show you how the process of managing an online course works, and to give you a feel for what your students are going to experience. Indeed, the #1 best preparation for teaching online is to be an online student first. Not just because you get a feel for how things work, but it also builds empathy for your students, because things don't always work perfectly. Anytime technology is involved, you can count on that. This is kind of this process is described very neatly by the classic statements of the first and second laws of thermodynamics. Sorry, I can't help it. I was trained as a physical scientist. I'm a chemist, so I tend to think in terms of natural laws. And the first law of thermodynamics basically says you can't win. And the second law basically says you can't even break even. And it also indicates that the universe tends toward a constant or a inevitable increase in entropy or disorder, which is of which Murphy's law is a corollary. Is things will go wrong, and at the worst possible time. So we're here to help when that happens. And please don't feel like you're the only one that it ever happened to, but anytime technology is involved, there are going to be issues. And you will come out of this with more empathy for your online students than you would otherwise have. Let's see, we've got a good question here in the chat tool. Does access to the following module signifies that you passed the graded quizzes in the current module? No, it just indicates that you've submitted them. We're not going to hold you up waiting for us to grade something. You will, as soon as you've submitted taken your quizzes, submitted your assignments, participated in your discussion forums, you'll be able to go on to the next module before you have, whether you have been graded or not. We know that's not ideal. We would very much like to have those grades to you. And our gold standard used to be 72 hours. Within 72 hours, you get your grade. Unfortunately, Trenton, my colleague, former colleague, I guess, I'm just an old retired duffer now, but Trenton is an active instructional design coordinator with Online Learning Pathways. He has one colleague, Chris Rogers, and Chris is primarily tasked with keeping Canvas running, so he has limited time for other things. And they're the only two full-time employees at Online Learning, or full-time instructional designers at Online Learning Pathways. Along with them, there's a very capable dean and a senior secretary, both of whom are wonderful resources, but they have their own things they have to do. Looking after this course for a long time fell almost entirely on Chris and Trenton. And there are well over 1,000 people in the current cohort right now. And there are, I forget the exact number of assignments, but there are a bucket load of assignments to grade in this course. This course was conceived at a time when we had 20 to 30 people a semester going through it. Obviously, that is no longer the case. Online Learning Pathways is doing their very best to get that grading done as quickly as possible. We have brought on some extra help, a dramatic increase in extra help since the beginning of June. And hopefully things will begin to turn around there as far as grading in the training course is going. But it's going to take them a while to get through everything, because each one of these assignments, as you put in, deserves a thoughtful evaluation and feedback to you if you're going to benefit as you should from the course. So they are getting after it just as quickly and as rapidly as they can. But odds of 1,000 to 2 are pretty tough, or even 1,000 to 6 or 7 is pretty tough odds. So the grading is not going to happen as expeditiously as we wish it would, but they're going to get there, and you're not going to be ignored, I assure you. And when you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay, well, that's kind of the nickel tour of the course. Trenton, is there anything else you'd like to add at this point?
No, I'm okay.
All right. Well, now let's open the floor up to questions. Let's see now. Here, Kathy, here's a good question in the chat tool. The numbering system seems to be 1.1, 1.21. Was that done by the designer? That was done by the course designer. That's one way to clearly indicate when people have a question about an assignment. It's one way to clearly indicate which one it is. And I found that very useful myself. When people have emailed me and said, I'm working on this particular assignment, they include that number and I know exactly where to go to look. And that's very convenient. You could certainly use that numbering system or any other one or whatever means you like to name your assignments, your readings, your content items, and so on. That's entirely up to you. Just whatever makes sense to you. This is just an example of one system that works.
That makes sense to me, but I had students saying that they didn't see certain, like I thought the modules I put together, I tried to model what you guys had. I didn't quite have the same kind of numbering system, but I thought it was consistent.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Students kept saying, it didn't show up in my to-do list. It didn't show up in the calendar. And that they're looking for, I guess when you put down a specific date, but not everything, like for instance, the reading, that doesn't have to be done by a certain date.
Right, and that inherently does not have a due date. Yeah. Only assessments have due dates. Homework assignments and quizzes, sorry, brain freeze there, quizzes and gradable discussions have due dates, but a reading assignment would not have a due date. I would say the answer to them would be, well, did you go and look at the modules tool? That's why we put that in there. I didn't put that in there just to entertain myself. So, yeah, but it is nice when it appears in the calendar. You can, of course, put manual events in the calendar, but I don't know if you should have to put an event in for each reading, each content item that you give them. No. I'm not sure that would really be necessary.
Okay.
Okay. Here's a statement of empathy I can empathize with. I'm feeling empathy for students with less than 20/20 vision. Here, I've had 2 cataract surgeries. The subtext in gray with number of points is difficult to read. I don't Control plus is not working. Control plus should normally work here. That's what I'm doing now. Not for everything, but for many things. You can, on most web pages, which Canvas is just a web server in a really sexy dress, you can usually magnify screen areas with hold down the control key on the keyboard and press plus to magnify and minus to go back down in size. And that should work with any web browser. And in most places in Canvas, that should work. When that doesn't work, you do have magnifier tools built into the operating systems on both the Mac and the PC. The one on the PC is called the magnifier. What's it called on a Mac, Trenton? Thank goodness we've got a Mac person here.
What tool are you asking about?
The magnification tool built into Mac OS. I can't remember what it's called.
I can't at the moment either. I think it's just accessibility.
It's under the accessibility tools. We'll figure that out. But here's the one in Windows.
Yeah, it's accessibility in the system preferences on that.
Yeah. And let's see, where'd that go? Ah, here it is. Ran away from me. Come on. There. So I can magnify just about any screen with the magnifier tool. So that one, I empathize with that. I see a few of you out there who are not too far off my general age range. And just as I was retiring about 3.5 years ago now, I had gotten to the point where even a 24-inch screen wasn't big enough for me. When I got retired and got up to northern Idaho, I actually had to buy a flat screen TV, a 63-inch TV, and use that as a monitor on a Windows PC for a while until I had my cataract surgery. So I empathize with that. But there are tools in there. Okay. Okay, I'm open to questions.
I have a question.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, I am typing out a chat thing. I don't know how to get it to you or to anyone.
Typing in the chat tool. And you're typing in the box that says type message here, or it said type message here when you started. Just press enter or return on your keyboard, depending on whether you're using a PC or a Mac, and that will send it. Very good.
Did it go through?
Not yet. I'm not seeing it.
Has to hit enter.
No, the last one that came through was at 2:30. Oh, nope. Yeah, that's the last one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pressing hard on the enter.
Should he specify that he's sending it to you privately rather than to everyone?
Well, I should see it either way, and I'm not seeing it. Yeah.
I'll try it both ways.
Yeah, I would prefer that you send it to everyone because everyone will benefit from seeing the questions.
Okay.
But that shouldn't matter. I should see it either way. As the host of the meeting, I see everything. Well, actually, I do not. I do not see it. If you send a private message to someone else, I won't see that.
Did you click on chat on the bottom of the menu, on the menu at the bottom? Because if you're trying to type in there, it won't work. So if you click on that, you should have a chat box that comes up. Mine comes up on the right.
Yeah, I have that. It says
Yep.
Zoom group
Huh.
chat. And
Yep.
Does it say Zoom?
So are you seeing what you type show up in the window at the little box at the bottom of the window?
yeah,
And you press, that's odd. All right, what sort of a computer are you on?
Hewlett-Packard.
Okay, so it's a PC.
Yeah.
Do you have is it a desktop PC or a laptop?
Laptop.
Laptop, so you probably only got the one enter key in the main part of the keyboard. You probably don't have a keypad, a numeric keypad, though either one should work. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Can I just verbally ask you the question?
You
now?
certainly may. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, you're giving us a nice overview of the structure of the course, but it's like telling me where everything is in a building, but I'm still out on the street. How do I sign up for that?
Ah, very good question. If you go to our online learning path, one way to do it anyway is to go to our online learning pathways website at www.sdccdonline.net. I have that at the top of the screen here. In the location line in my web browser, I'll put that into the chat tool as well. So you see that.
Okay.
And then I'll just press enter again to go to our online learning pathways website. This is also linked to the district homepage and to each of the college homepages. And then go to the faculty area.
All right.
And then to training. And I'm sorry this is a little buried, but we have to do it this way to keep the students from signing up for the training course. We had something of a problem with that at first. Anyway, here's the information on the online faculty certification program.
Okay.
And there's a link here to the online faculty certification form. Actually, this will take you to a page that describes a lot of what I just told you. And to sign up, here's a sign up link for the online faculty certification program. And you go to that, it's a form that you fill out and just submit. And let me put that form link in the chat tool. And this is for the current cohort. And if you start it now, you have to finish it by June 30th. This is the 2019 to 2020 OFCP enrollment form. And I believe Trenton put the enrollment form for the next cohort, the one that will start on July 1st, into the chat tool earlier, but maybe he wouldn't mind putting that in again, so that whichever one you decide to sign up for, you'll have the form that you need. All right, that's a very important question. We wanted to get that out of the way first. How about the next important question? I saw someone with their hand up. Pamela, that was you.
Okay, yeah, so I took my first quiz 1.7 and it shows that I took it. It said attempt and how much time it took, but I don't have a green check. Am I supposed to have a green check? Because I've submitted something I did. Well, I'm sorry. Whatever number the quiz is, the first quiz in module 1 of the training course.
Was it the practice quiz or the first graded quiz?
The first, well, no, this is the ungraded quiz on module 1.
No, that won't, because that doesn't go into the grade book. That's primarily practice for you.
Because everything else, everything I've read.
As long as you continue working down, you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
And that first, you won't see module 2 until you finish the graded.
No, I know, yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's the graded assignments that are the gatekeeper. The graded discussion, 1.7, the graded assignment, 1.8, and the quiz, 1.9. When you finish those, module 2 should light up.
Okay, yeah, all the other things I read are checked. It's just that first quiz.
Right. Yeah,
that one, 1.1, yeah, no check, okay.
Quizzes are handled a little differently.
Okay, thank you.
You should be good.
Okay, thanks.
And if any of you get to the end of a module and you feel you should then be able to proceed and you can't, let me know. We'll sort it out for you. April, I saw your hand up. Oops, you're still muted, April. If you'll unmute yourself.
There we go.
There you are.
I'm completely new to this. I'm taking a few lessons with colleagues.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. The question I have, I loved what that gentleman said about how we've been given a tour of the building, but we feel like we're out in the street. That's how and here's the question I have. It says 20 hours, but I'm getting the impression, and perhaps those who have already done it can share their experiences with me, that it's more like 200 hours, because I'm hearing the readings and the tests. And we're all trying to prepare for our courses next semester. I'm curious to know how long it really takes.
A lot.
Much longer.
It varies widely. We had someone who was trying to break a record do this course, an earlier iteration of this course, which actually was a little bit more, took a little more time. A person finished it in 8 hours.
Oh my God.
Oh,
No, 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 no.
But that's not going to happen for you. That's
Not
not
with
gonna happen.
me, no. It may take being
This
fired.
person had been teaching online for some time already.
Oh, come on.
But
David Giberson.
you get 20 hours of flex credit for it.
Mhm,
But realistically, it's probably going to take a little longer than that.
mhm.
30 is probably somewhere near an average.
I'm not average, I'm below average, so it,
I can certainly relate to that. So it'll take as long as it takes. And in fact, people who are extremely conscientious tend to take longer. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, though there's a price for conscientiousness, as we all know. But it shouldn't take 100 hours, no. It does get easier as you go along, as you become more familiar with Canvas.
But if we beat the 8 hours, do we get a prize or just bragging rights?
Bragging rights.
Oh, okay.
Let me know, and if you want me to, I'll identify you. Because I answer that question every time we do one of these sessions. We should probably have a plaque that gets passed around. Of course, with any activity, it's better that you do it well than that you do it quickly. Of course, you know that. So, and what we really don't want to see happen when people take extreme amounts of time to do it, it's usually because they get hung up on something.
That's right.
They're banging their head against the wall
right.
again and again and again, and not making much of an impression. Let me know.
I spent 60 hours for 2 modules until now. How many hours I need to spend to finish the course? That's what's.
Well, hopefully not nearly that many more.
I hope not. I'm so frustrated.
Oops, I just sent that to the wrong place. I'm sorry. Do not beat your head against the wall. Let me know. Usually it's something that can be corrected quickly.
Can you pair us with somebody else so in case we are stuck, we have a help, and maybe by using other students' opinions, output, we can solve this technology that we are stuck on. Believe me, I went to my son, my grandson, everybody could not help me. So I don't know what to do.
Try. Yes, there is a question and answer discussion. If you go to the discussions, oh no, that's disabled. I'll take that back. Well, you can go to your inbox tool in Canvas and select and send a message and select the online faculty certification program. I have so many courses, I'm having a hard time finding it here. Online faculty training, no. Online faculty training, no.
It might have been at the top of your list, Dave.
Pardon?
I think I saw it at the top of your list there.
You think? Ah, that looks possible. I don't know if that's it or not. I'll assume that is. You won't have that many courses to sort through. Once you pick this course, you can then send a message to the teachers. And that'll get to all of us.
But Dr. Dave, I need someone to see my screen to see what I'm doing wrong. Is there anyone that even we can pay so can come and help us with this? Because I'm really trying.
If you email us and describe the problem, we can almost certainly figure out what's happening. We've seen a lot of this. And if it's something where we just can't ascertain why it's going wrong, we would contact you and get you to do just that, to show us what's happening on your end. But usually we can figure it out. So just send all the teachers in the course, and then a subject and a detailed description of the problem, and send it, and it will go to everyone who's enrolled as an instructor, as a teacher in that course. And there are quite a few of us. So that's the best way to get your question out to the largest number of people in the shortest period of time.
Dave, if
Yes.
Eileen is not overwhelmed, she's the mentor for City College, so you could contact her as well.
Yes, and indeed, you're the faculty mentor for your college, but most of them are in here as instructors as well. So they should get that message. If you send to all teachers in the course, they should get it as well.
Mesa also has a buddy system. Does that apply to the other schools?
Mesa is doing that right now. I'm not aware that the other schools are. And that would be through Katie Palacios, of course, who is their instructional designer over there. And there's not a better person, if you're a Mesa faculty member, there's no one better in the world to get in touch with. All right. And Trenton's putting some good information about that in the chat tool as well. Thanks, Trenton. Okay, perhaps we can get to some substantive questions here about the course. Anybody hung up on anything right now or need
How about the video? How about the video?
Ah, yes. I knew
Upload
that
a
question would
video
come up.
and
Thank
do-
you, Yusra, for taking us right there.
Okay, thank you.
We'll go to the modules here. And what Yusra is referring to, of course, is the 2.7
Yes.
graded discussion. It's not exactly an assignment, it's a discussion topic, but it is functionally an assignment. You're asked to create a video by whatever means you wish, upload it. The instructions assume you're going to upload it to YouTube, because if you upload the video to YouTube, it's automatically captioned, so you don't have to do that nasty transcription stuff. All you have to do is edit the captions. Once the video is uploaded to YouTube, give it a little while. The YouTube captions should automatically appear. And then you can edit them for accuracy. Hint, don't make the video too long.
How long? Is the most?
Yeah, we do want a video that is something you might realistically use in a course, like a welcome video for your students. But you don't have to spend more than a minute or two welcoming your students to qualify, at least for this assignment.
Okay.
Because you don't want to have, editing captions typically takes 3 to 5 times the run time of the video. So if it's a 1-minute video,
I did that. It did
probably
not
take
work.
3 to 5 minutes at least to edit your captions. So you don't want to do a 15-minute video.
Okay.
You can do that.
Dave, can I ask you, this is Daryl. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Hey, good. I'd like to get signed up for the certification. That's why I've joined your session. So would you be able to provide me with the link, or could you sign me up?
Well, I can certainly provide you with the link. Do you want the current cohort, in which case you'd need to finish by the end of June, or do you want to sign up for the cohort that starts in July at July 1?
Let me ask you this. Can I sign up for the July 1 but start right now?
No. You can't start until July 1.
Okay.
So you could be
let me ask this question. If I sign up for the one currently and I don't finish, can I roll over?
Have to start over again.
Oh, you've got to start over. So
But
they only give you.
You will have done a lot of the reading. It's not going to be radically different next term. You will have done a lot of the reading, and you'll have many of the assignments, the quizzes taken, the assignments done, and so on. So it's not that you would have to start from scratch. It's just that you would have to re-upload to the assignments and take the quizzes again and so on. But that would only take a relatively small amount of time. So there's no real downside that I see to starting right now. Just if you don't think you will have the time to finish by the end of June, you'd have to keep an eye, save everything that you submit carefully and things like that. But you wouldn't have to do the reading and all that over again. You'd already have done that. You'd just go back and fulfill the assessments, bang, 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 and then you'd be caught up. So if it were me, I'd start now and hope I could get through. And if I didn't,
how would I go about saving the information?
Let me put this in the chat tool for you. This is the form signing up for this cohort.
So the one that's on the screen right now, I could take a picture of that with my camera.
I'm putting that link in the chat tool right now. That's in the chat tool or in the chat log. If you go to the chat window, which you can access at the bottom of your screen under the chat tool here.
All right. And
you go to the little 3 dots here, the more menu in the lower right hand corner of the chat window. You can save the chat. And it will be saved in a folder called Zoom in your default documents folder. And it will be called meeting_saved_chat.txt. And it's just a simple text file. If you just double click it, it should come up in your default text editor, PC or Mac. And there's the chat log so far.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm saving the link then?
Yes, that'll give you the link, and then you can just click on that link, or you may have to copy it. You'll have to copy and paste it into the location line on your web browser, that link right there, and then just press enter, and that will take you to the form.
Okay, how about if I just copy that link right off the top just to make it easy, if I can do that?
Yeah, but what you're seeing is probably not copyable.
Oh, right, because you're not sharing the screen with me.
It's a picture of what I'm showing you.
So this is the https://docs.google.com form. Am I correct?
The Google form, yes.
Okay, so can I save this to my desktop or my computer anyway?
Well, it will save to the Zoom folder automatically. You can't change it.
And
then you could certainly copy it there, yes.
Okay,
but it's going to go to that Zoom folder under your documents folder.
So so save the chat. I've done that. So how do I get to my Zoom folder?
I tell you what, we're going to need to move on and deal with that video problem.
Thank you.
But you'll just need to do that by going into your file manager, either the Finder on a Mac or File Explorer on the PC. And I'll be happy to show you that later as well. But right now we really do need to move on. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so how do we? So that's going back again. Well, you're going to make a short video. You're going to upload it to YouTube or another place where it will be automatically captioned. You're going to edit the captions, and then you're going to get the link to that video. It'll be online. You get the link, and you put that into the a discussion post for the 2.7 activity. And this is all happening in the training course. You don't have to go into your practice course for this. So here we have the description of what you're to do in this activity, but buried down here, and this is.
I did all that and watched them.
Pardon?
I watched all the videos how to do it.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
when I want to do,
I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to help you with
Thank you.
that. So eventually you're going to get down here to this reply button right above the first post. This has confused some people because it kind of gets lost in this huge amount of information that you're provided with. But right here is the action button, if you will, that makes this work. If you click on that reply button, you get the rich content editor, the text editor for Canvas, and you just paste your URL right in there. I think I've got a URL on there. Your URL won't be that complex, but you just paste that URL right in and post reply. And you're
but
done.
I did not do the captions and the description yet, and
You're right.
the editing.
Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you each step of it. All right. So, but that's what you finish up with. So how do you make, the first thing you've got to do then is make the video. There are a number of ways you can do that.
Or take it from YouTube, right?
No, you have to make the video. This is a video that you create yourself.
Okay.
So the most common way of doing that is to just record a short video on your smartphone, using your smartphone.
Okay.
It's by no means the only way to fulfill this assignment, but it's an easy one. And I know some people don't have smartphones, but a tablet will work too. If you happen to have an iPad or an Android tablet, that will work as well. I've got my smartphone here and my document camera. Let me turn that right side up. This is a very useful thing to have with Zoom. Zoom in a little bit here. This is an iPhone. This works equally well with an Android phone. And a little bit of focus there. That's better. All right, let's hope my phone hasn't died. Ha! Thank goodness. 31%. We can get through this. Let me get into my... There we go. All right, be it an Android phone or an iPhone, you're going to have a camera app. Mine's right there. It'll vary, the location will vary, but it'll look more or less like that. Tap on it. And almost all smartphones these days have two cameras, a back camera and a front camera, or the selfie camera, as it's sometimes called. Obviously, this phone is trying to use the back camera, which it does by default, because that's the best camera. That's what you're going to use when you're taking pictures and so on, for the most part. But we have to tell the phone not to do that, because it's hard for us to stand around behind our phone. So there'll be a little icon somewhere on the iPhone. It looks like this. The little arrows chasing one another around that switches you from one camera to the other.
Yes.
Back and forth. Okay, so now we've got the selfie camera activated. We can see the camera looking down at it. That's not entirely useful, but what the hey. Recording a video is as simple as just tapping the word video down here to turn the phone into video mode. And then, if I can do this, this ain't going to be pretty, but we can see what happens. You just tap the record button. Now we're making a video. Gee, not much of one, and definitely not one that anybody's going to want to watch. With an exceptionally ugly old fat man in it. But what the hell? It's a video. When we're done, and you welcome your students, just say nice things for about a minute and a half, is plenty. And try to make it something you can use. And then when you're done, you just tap the stop button And that's all there is to making a video on your phone. Tap a button, yakety yakety yak, tap the same button again, you're done. Yes.
And after that, I already have my video. I did my video.
Great. Okay, so we've got our video. So what do we do now? This is the next question I'm hearing.
Yes.
Well, in order, if you're going to put it on YouTube, which you're almost certainly going to do if you do it with your smartphone.
Yes.
You have to have the YouTube app on your phone. It should come. Well, I know it comes on Android phones. It's been so long since I had a new iPhone. This one's like the oldest iPhone that still works. Because I don't see any point in replacing it as long as it's still working for me. You might have to load the YouTube app from your app store on an iPhone. I don't.
I have it right here.
But if you have it, you're
I have it.
Okay.
Okay.
You just tap on the YouTube app. Open it
Okay.
up. And you do, in order to upload a video to YouTube, you do have to have a YouTube account.
Right.
If you have a Google account, that is, if you use Gmail or Google Docs or any of the other Google services of that nature, you already have a Google account, and that's your YouTube account. YouTube is a Google resource, and all Google resources use the same Google account. So you would, if you're not logged into YouTube already, you would be prompted to do so at this point.
Okay.
If you have a Google account, you just use your Google account credentials. The email associated with the Google account will be your username, and your password will be your Google password.
Okay.
If you don't have a Google account, you can go to accounts.google.com. Very easy to remember. Accounts plural, they just happen to call. And you can make yourself a Google account. If obviously I have one, but if you don't have one, there'll be an option to make an account.
I have that too. Okay.
Totally free. And you're not signing up for anything. Google already knows where you are and who you are and so on. That cart left the barn so long ago, it's not even funny. So you're not really signing up for anything that you haven't already lost. April.
Okay. Yes, for those of us who don't have smartphones,
I'll give you an alternative.
That's what I wondered. Thank you.
You bet.
So I see all this. Okay.
Okay, so we're back. So you do have to be logged in to YouTube. You'll know if you are, if you look in the upper right-hand corner here, there will either be a little picture of you if you've uploaded a profile picture to your Google account, or there may be just a little silhouette here if you haven't done that.
Or the first letter of the name, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. Usually it will have the first letter of your name in there as well. Okay, so if you see that, you're logged in and you're ready to go. Because the only difficulty is getting logged into your YouTube account here. Uploading a video to YouTube from your smartphone is pretty trivial. You just go to there's 4 little icons here. The second one is a little stylized camera.
Right, right.
Zoom in on that a little more so you can see it.
Yeah. Until now, I'm okay because I see all this.
There. So if I just tap on that.
Okay.
The iPhone pulls up the last several videos you've made. And you can scroll through them. You can get any of them. But it's usually the one in the upper left that you just made.
Okay.
And to upload that one to YouTube, all you've got to do is tap on it, for starters.
Okay.
Gives you a preview. I don't need to see that again.
Okay.
Sure you don't. So that's the right video.
Okay.
In the upper right here, there's a little next button in purple.
Okay.
Not perhaps the best color choice, but what can I say? That's the way it is. You just tap where it says next.
Okay.
And you get some legal information, which you know, as long as you weren't dancing naked in the moonlight making this, you're in good shape.
So it's not for a child. We can say for all audience, not child, not child. Okay.
Well, they don't even ask that here. Yeah. They just ask you to comply, to not market highly sugared cereals to children or whatever, or worse. So you don't have to worry about that in this case.
Okay.
You do have to set the privacy appropriately.
I
your
put unlisted yet. I put unlisted yet.
Unlisted is good.
Okay.
Your options are, let me let that focus, public, unlisted, and private.
Right.
Anything will work for us as long as it's not either the public or your unlisted will work. You probably want it unlisted. That means only people who have the link can view it.
Okay.
Which makes it effectively private because you have to provide the link. Do not make it private, otherwise we won't be able to view it and you'll get a 0 on the assignment. We'll ask you to go change the privacy so we can see it.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, unlisted is good because this is not something that's probably going to be of public interest. Certainly mine isn't. So I'm going to leave it unlisted. And so probably all you're going to do in the upper right hand corner here, if I'll let that refocus, come on, is you're going to tap the word upload up here.
Okay. Yes.
And then basically you're done as far as uploading it to YouTube. You just wait a little while. If the video is a minute or so, it'll upload almost instantly. And then YouTube processes it to allow to convert it into a form that will work on YouTube. Okay. And that will take only a moment or so. And when the screen changes, it's on YouTube. Can't see it yet.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
That's where I am stuck. Can I share my video with you to see why I'm stuck there?
I tell you what, let's hold that to the end, okay? And I'll be happy
to. Okay, sure. Maybe after
Absolutely.
You know. Thank you.
Absolutely. And just to see the video, to confirm that it's online, you can pull down to.
Yeah, that's where I am. Right. Okay.
And if you see that, you're golden. It's on YouTube. Now you just have to wait for YouTube to caption it. That may take anywhere from a few minutes to a few hours. It just depends on how busy and YouTube's pretty busy right now. A lot of people are using it out of YouTube.
If this means it is there, right here. Can you see mine?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
The red arrow, is that YouTube, isn't it?
Yes, but the URL is, you're not ready yet.
No.
You got to go in and edit the captions.
Right, that's what I want to do, to edit and do captions on it. Yes.
Right, and I'm going to show you how to do that now.
Probably
that video will not be ready in time. So I'm going to pick one that I did earlier. Let me get this. We're done with the iPhone. We're done with the smartphone. The video's on YouTube. Now we go to YouTube and edit the captions. And that would be true for any video you uploaded to YouTube. Now let me find YouTube here. There we go. Again, you want to make sure you're logged in so you have access to your video. You should see your picture or your first initial up here in the upper right.
Okay.
Click on yourself or your initial.
Okay.
And select YouTube Studio from the menu that pops up. There's a bunch of stuff in that menu. It's the third option, YouTube Studio. That's your management interface for the videos that you've uploaded to YouTube.
Okay.
And you get a dashboard that just tells you some things about your channel.
Okay. Yes.
I don't care about that. I want a list of my videos, which will be over here on the left.
Right.
In this left-hand menu, if you click on this, you'll see your current video list, starting with the one that I just uploaded from my phone. All right, that's fine. Let's just check on it, see if it might have captioned already. It's pretty short. I'll click on it and then click View on YouTube. And nope, no captions yet. I know that because when it's captioned, there'll be a little CC symbol, closed caption symbol down here in the player bar. So can't use that one yet.
Okay.
I'll just close that one. I'm going to pick another one that I can show you how to edit captions from.
Okay.
Go back to my channel, my video
Okay.
list. And here's one I did just the other day.
Okay.
Answering this same question. So I'll pick that one. I'll go, oh, you know, probably that's not a good idea because it's not going to look just right because I think I've already edited those. So let's try this one. Just click on the thumbnail for it.
Okay, and you say edit, right?
No, nope. You go to subtitles. Subtitles.
Oh, subtitles, okay.
On the video details page, which comes up when you click on the little icon for the video in the video link. You've got an entry for subtitles here. Subtitles and captions are very similar. They're almost the same thing. There's a technical difference, but YouTube even conflates the two.
I'm confused about those two. Yes.
Well, don't worry about it. Subtitles, captions, just assume that's the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. Click on the word subtitles in this menu here.
Okay.
And you'll be presented with 2 lines of information here. And the ability to add a language. If you want to add captions in other languages, you can do that. But your viewers can have the captions automatically translated for themselves. YouTube supports 50-some languages. It's amazing. Yes. So anyway, but probably you're uploading from the United States. Your captions will be in English, and that's fine for the stipulations.
What I'm saying is not in English, but I want to do the captions in English so others know what I'm saying.
Right, exactly. So you will get, after a period of time ranging from a few minutes to a few hours, you should have an automatic English caption track, automatic English captions ready. It's a little confusing because you have 2 lines here, and people sometimes get confused at this point. Well, which one of these represents the actual captions? And it's the top one, the one that says English automatic is where you want to work. And if you go out to the end of that line, you'll see a little menu button out here.
Right.
And if you click on that menu button, there's an option to edit the captions. It says edit on Classic Studio. Don't worry about what Classic Studio. YouTube is constantly changing their interface.
Yeah.
So you edit and you see your video, a small window of it. And there's an edit button.
That's where I don't see CC. I see my video, but I never saw the CC where I can caption or.
All right, in that event, your video has not yet been captioned. That can happen on YouTube, and there's not really anything you can do about it. If that happens, you may have to use another alternative, which I'll show you in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
If we go to the edit button here, we'll see our captions over here on the left. There's not much here. This was a 13-second video. Yours should probably be a little longer than that, but this will illustrate the process.
Okay, thank you.
You just play the video, listen to it, and look at the captions. We are recording a test video for
Oh my
upload
God.
to YouTube to
Oh my
illustrate the
God.
process. Now we'll just tap the... It's
Oh,
usually perfect.
I thought I need to write them over on the picture or on the
No,
video.
no.
Oh my
They are
God. Okay.
automatically created, and you just
Okay.
edit them. The only thing I need to do here is put in a capital W at the beginning of the sentence, and I could tell from my pause that the word process was the end of the sentence, so I put a period there.
Okay.
If you spoke accurately in independent and dependent clauses and so on, there might be some punctuation you could put in the middle. It's scarcely required, but that's generally all I have to do with YouTube.
Okay. That's where.
Now the word now was the beginning of the next sentence, so I put a capital N there, and then just keep playing. I'll go down to the next caption that will move the playhead forward so that I don't have to listen to the first caption again. It's not just tap the stop button.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
We'll just tap the stop now. We'll just tap the stop button, period. And that may be all the editing you have to do is putting in caps and periods.
That's where I am. That's where I am right now. I'm.
Right.
I type captions or what you call them, description, but I can, I want to put them on the video itself, but it
Exactly.
doesn't happen.
Well, that has to, YouTube has to generate the captions automatically. All you can do is edit. Well, actually, you can actually add subtitles by clicking this big plus button here. And it will create the subtitle at the point of the playhead here. And you can just type something in there.
Okay.
So you can type the captions, but you shouldn't have to.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
That would cause
This took me more than 20 hours to do.
Once that's done, once you've edited the captions,
Yes.
you just save the changes.
Okay.
And you're done with your video.
Wow.
All you need now is the link to the video to put into the discussion post on Canvas. And that link would not be this one right here. You need to return to YouTube Studio.
Okay.
Get back to your caption, to your video. Yes.
I have a question. When you have it at the end, finish your statement.
Well, I'm just saying, all you have to do is get back to the video list.
Okay.
And get the link for your video, the share URL, it's called, the web link, the web address for that video.
Okay.
And you do that by going back to your videos list here.
Okay.
And that was this one. I'll use that one. If you mouse over the video, you get these little icons following you. And the first icon, the little pencil, is the details page. It's the page that has the information you need about the video on it. So you click that. This is the video details page for this particular video that describes it. And right there is the video link that you have to, since we made this unlisted, we need that in order to be able to find this video so that we can verify that you've completed the assignment.
I seen that. I seen all this. I seen it. And I just didn't know what to do with it.
So we copy that video link to the clipboard by clicking this little icon right here, or by just highlighting it and right-clicking on it and copy, whichever. Get it on the clipboard.
those two little squares, what they mean?
Don't worry
Yes.
about that. This just tells you that the both the standard definition and the high definition version of this video have been created. You don't care.
Okay, I was confused about those two.
As far as this assignment's concerned, you don't care about that.
Okay.
Okay. So now we go back to Canvas and we go to the 2.7 discussion.
Yes.
From the module, and we scroll down till we find that reply button right there.
Oh,
well, I've already
okay.
done that.
Okay.
Let me cancel out of this so you see that. You click on that reply button.
Okay.
And you paste that link into the rich content editor, and don't forget to hit post reply at the bottom. That saves your post.
So you don't need to go to YouTube.
Pardon?
You don't need to go to YouTube where there is, you know, how to upload and all this. You don't need to do that.
In the rich text editor.
No, we've already been there. We've gotten this share URL, and now we're pasting that into the post, and we click post reply, which I don't want to do because I don't want to add this one to the record in the course. This is the live course. So,
thank you.
Thank you. We click post reply, and you're done.
Oh my God, that's
that
it?
Automatically shows up then to the graders in the grade book as a post. They see the little icon that tells them you submitted that. They don't have to go through the discussion topic to find it. They see that, and then they grade it, and you get a grade, and you get to move on.
Wow, that's why I can't move on for this. Thank you.
But you won't be able to move on unless you complete this, right? Ooh, sorry.
Would screencasting satisfy this requirement?
I'm sorry now?
Would screencasting satisfy this requirement?
Absolutely. That's another option. You could upload a screencast to YouTube and have that captioned on YouTube, and then submit that URL. Any sort of video will work as long as it's something you've created that you might use in a course.
And Zoom, right? Zoom.
The other common option is to do this using Zoom. I am recording this session right now.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to have chosen to, and I'm sorry for being hunkered down here, but my right thigh just cramped. I'm having to keep it straight to avoid screaming. Excuse me. I'm recording this session right now, including these screens that I'm showing you. So I am in fact doing what is called screencasting right now. I'm recording my computer screen with VoiceOver for use instructionally. And that's probably the easiest. That's about as easy as recording on your smartphone, because you probably do this anyway using Zoom with your classes. So what you can do is just light off a Zoom meeting with no one else in it and record yourself talking through your webcam, or share your screen and talk about that. You might show your course and talk a little bit about your course. But as long as you're recording in Zoom, you will then be able to upload this. If you record to the cloud, which is the default with your Confer Zoom accounts that you get for free from the State Chancellor's Office, the video will automatically be uploaded to Zoom. You don't even have to go through the relatively minimal process of uploading it to YouTube, because the Zoom cloud will caption it just as YouTube will, and just about as well. As a matter of fact, I have seen circumstances where YouTube refused to caption a video and Zoom was able to do it. So I'm becoming more and more enamored of the Zoom cloud as time goes along. Yusra, if your YouTube video has been up there for a day or more and the captions haven't shown up, I'd be seriously tempted just to do it through Zoom, because I've seen the Zoom cloud caption video that YouTube wouldn't caption, and just as accurately in most cases.
I would like to share my screen later on. I'd like to share my screen with you and see.
I'll be happy to do that when we're done. But right now when we are done. Thank you. So we got to get through this for everyone.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go. You bet. I'm gonna go then to show you. Alternatively, if you record to your local computer, you can upload your Zoom recording to YouTube, just as I did the smartphone video, through your computer, and have it captioned on YouTube, and then proceed in exactly the same way I showed you. But probably it's easier to send it to the Zoom cloud. Once you do, it's easy to go to the Zoom cloud, edit your captions, get the link, and go and come back and paste it into this post here. You do that, you go and edit your captions on the Zoom cloud by webbing to zoom.us, the simplest URL you'll ever see. Zoom.us. I'm not even going to put that one in the chat tool. You can jot that down and press enter or return. You will have to sign in at the Zoom website. This is their corporate homepage. Sign into your account using the credentials that were provided to you with your Confer Zoom account. Or if you signed up for a free Zoom account, you'll have credentials for that as well. Sign in with the appropriate credentials. There'll be an email address and a password. Sign in. And you'll be in your Zoom account management screens. Go to Recordings in the menu on the left, right there. And you'll see a list of the recordings that you've uploaded to Zoom. The most recent will be at the top. So the one you've both just finished should be right here. It does take Zoom a little while to process these videos, just as it does YouTube. So, but Zoom will send you emails when it's done. It will tell you first that, okay, I got it. And then it will send you another email later saying, okay, you got captions now. When you get that second email, you know it's time to go to Zoom and click on the link to the recording that you want. This is one I did, 5 days ago. So I'll click on that one. You get a kind of like a details page in YouTube for this video. To see the video, actually play it, and edit your captions, you have to click on the little film icon here. And there's your video. And it has
Hello,
captions.
everyone. Today we're going to...
This is fascinating. This is something I tried the other day. This video had been uploaded to YouTube by a faculty member, and it never got captioned.
Okay.
I took it, I lit off a Zoom meeting, played the video during the Zoom meeting with just me in there, recorded it using the Zoom recorder, and then let Zoom upload it to the cloud. And look what happened. It captioned it beautifully. As far as I know, this video still hasn't been captioned by YouTube. So YouTube works great, but occasionally it will just find a video that it just won't caption. And sometimes you can't really tell why. It usually has something to do with the sound quality. But the Zoom cloud actually seems to be a little less picky. So here are captions. We're not going to, obviously not going to edit all of these.
Wow,
This
that
is a
looks
classic example of why you want to keep your video short in this in this circumstance. But here are your captions over here on the side, and you can just mouse over each one. And if you need to edit one, you just click on the little pencil icon that pops up next to it when you mouse over it, and you get an editable caption. So you just play a little bit of the video.
Learn how to find all the different notes on the piano or your keyboard at home. So we're going to start.
Notice the Zoom Cloud even got the cap and the period. That's pretty impressive. So you may have to look hard to find something to edit, but persevere. And then when you edit a caption, you just save it.
Dave,
this is done caption by caption. Yes.
It looked like you were overlooking it. Was that meant to be? Because like you were showing something?
No, that was just Zoom does that when it records. It records your video here.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean, it's like,
that's something to keep in mind when you're recording.
Okay.
But that's not a problem, but you will be in there. I didn't get it cut off quite soon. I forgot.
Okay.
But this was just a test. But anyway, that's all there is to editing the captions. And you save each caption in turn, so there's not like a save button at the bottom. When you're done, when you finish the editing,
could you show us how you save each caption in turn, please?
Yeah, you edit each caption in turn by clicking on the little pencil icon to the right.
Oh, there. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And when you're done, you just need the URL for the video. So to get that, you go back. This opened in a new tab. So the video details page is here in this tab still. So I just click on that. And here's the shareable link, the URL for the video. You just click on that button and that copies it to your clipboard. So now you just go back to Canvas, hit that reply button that we've already seen, and paste it in. And you're done. And that's perfectly acceptable. It doesn't have to be YouTube, which has kind of hung some people up. So that's probably as easy a way to do this as the smartphone YouTube route.
I assume you could click on it and test whether it's there or not.
That's probably a good idea. And you have to, actually you have to post it. What you could do is open up a new tab and paste that URL into the tab on your browser, into the location line in that tab on your browser, and make sure it takes you to the right place. Because you can't really run this, you can't click on this from within the editor. You have to save it before you can click on it. And then of course, it's a little late because you can't edit this after you post it. So if you want to make sure you got the URL right, just paste it into a new browser tab and click and hit return or enter on the keyboard. So those are two ways to satisfy assignment 2.7 that will work, one of which will work for just about anybody.
And if you use an old-fashioned camera, just upload it with like a WMV file to YouTube, or on a flash drive, or
that would work fine too. Yes, it's a lot more complicated, but yes, it would work fine.
But is that just like upload? Like you go to YouTube, you can
upload it to YouTube from your computer.
Yeah,
it's very similar. There's a little icon that's just like the one in the app.
Okay.
Called Create, again, you have to be logged in. Click create. If you click create and you're not logged in, it'll say log in. And then upload video. Then you're on an automatic train, as it were. YouTube's going to drag you through like the little hook in the car wash. It's going to pull you right through. You're going to be nice and clean by the time you come out the other end. You select file, the file that you want to upload. You find that video file on your hard drive where you've uploaded it, or it may be on your camera chip that you've got plugged into a reader on your computer or whatever. You just find the video. Let me find something here that I have not uploaded, because YouTube gets a little upset with you when you upload something twice. Let's see. I don't know if I've uploaded that one or not. I'll try it. Find the video file, click open, and that starts the upload process automatically. You have to give it a name on the next screen. I'm just going to call it test video. The first time you do this, you have to answer the question, is it meant for kids? And they mean someone under 13. It won't be. You're doing instructional videos for college students, unless you have a prodigy in your class or something. No, it's not. That eliminates a bunch of hoops you have to jump through otherwise, because they got in trouble with people marketing inappropriately to kids. So they've thrown this hurdle in. So you say, no, it's not made for kids. You probably won't have to do that after the first time. It'll remember that and assume it's not. Then click next. This screen, the video element screen, you don't have to do a thing. Just click next again. And then you have that same question you had on the smartphone. Do you want private, unlisted, or public? Most commonly, you'll want unlisted. If it's a video that is of general interest and you don't mind sharing it with the world, you can make it public. And that's a public service. But you make that decision. Unlisted works just as well for instructional videos, because you're going to be providing the link to this video. If you were using it in the course, you'd link it into your Canvas course and you'd put that link in there. And then you just click save. And it says processing abandoned because it's a duplicate. Well, that's because I uploaded the same video twice. That won't happen to you. So when you finish here, I know. So when you finish, it's going to bring up your video list automatically. You don't have to navigate to it. And this one, I know. I don't like red letter messages here from YouTube. Anyway, yours will be fine. And then you're at the same point you were after you uploaded from your smartphone. You go ahead and you wait for the captions, you edit them, and you get the link, and you put it into Canvas. I'm just going to delete that while I'm thinking about it, so I don't have it messing up my video list. So that's the process for manually uploading video to Canvas or to YouTube, which is not much more complicated than doing it from the smartphone. So if you have something on your camera and you want to upload that, that's great. But it needs to be something you made. And we prefer that you be in it, or your voice at least, because your students crave that. They crave any kind of contact with you in an online course. They never get enough. And little short videos like that are wonderful periodically. Just, if nothing else, just a little pep rally or whatever, keep them going, is worth the time, I assure you. So video is an exceptionally important instructional modality in online courses, and the purpose of this assignment is to ensure that everyone knows how to do it, knows the basics of how to do it. Whether you choose to use it in your course or not, that's up to you, obviously. But we want to ensure that you've at least done it once. And that's why that assignment's in there. So vis-a-vis the person who did this whole course in 8 hours some years ago, they all had already, if you already have an instructional video somewhere that you made, you can just upload it to if it's already on YouTube, it's already captioned, just edit the captions.
Okay.
Make sure the captions are edited and give us the link. That's fine. All we want to know is that you've done it once. Okay, so 2.7. Now, I'd like to take some time to see if people have any questions about any other assignments, because we do get questions about other assignments that people get hung up on. So anybody have anything about another assignment that they have?
Dave, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I was responding to one of the early exercises about introducing yourself with a picture.
Yes.
I tried to do that, and I've been grappling with Trendon about that. I posted a text introducing myself as well as my picture. The text showed up, but not my picture. What am I doing wrong?
Oh, okay. So you were, okay. So it wasn't the icebreaker. It was the
I think
assignment.
something like that. Yeah, something that.
1.8, assignment 1,
Yeah.
where you're asked for your first assignment, homework assignment. And
I guess it
here
resonates with some people.
we get into the fast and loose way Canvas uses the word assignment. That the icebreaker is logically an assignment. It's something you have to do, and you get graded for it. But it's not a homework assignment object to Canvas. So when it says your first assignment, this is your first homework assignment. It's not your first reading assignment or your first discussion forum or whatever. Anyway, you're asked to make sure your email address is correct so that you can get emails through Canvas. Change your password, and there's a video for each of these. Change your profile picture, and that's the one, Adamu, I'm hearing that you were having trouble with.
Right.
Okay. To change your profile picture in Canvas, you go to your account link. This global access menu or a system menu for Canvas is always visible anytime you're logged into Canvas. And there's an account link at the top of that menu. May or may not, it won't have your profile picture in it yet because you haven't uploaded, but that's what we're going to do. So we click on that and we get another menu popping out. And the profile picture is added to the profile link in your account menus. So we go to profile. And to add a profile picture, you just mouse over, you'll have a blank or a circle here that just has a silhouette in it. If you haven't uploaded a profile picture, you just click on that circle and you're given an option to provide a profile picture in a number of ways. Don't worry about Gravatar. If you have a webcam and it's on, you can take a picture right now using your webcam and use that. Or more likely, you have a picture of yourself that you took with a camera, your smartphone or something, stored on your computer. So you click upload, in that event, you click upload a picture, and then you click choose a picture. That will allow you to go to your file manager, either File Explorer or the Finder on the Mac, and look for your picture. Presumably you know where that is on your computer. There's a picture. And you select the picture you want to use and you just click open. It gives you an option to resize it and crop it a little bit. You can just drag this circle around so that you get the picture as centered as you can. You can make it a little, the display area a little bigger or smaller by grabbing one of these handles and clicking and dragging it. But usually you just have to move this around a little bit by clicking and dragging, and then just click save. And there you are. That will appear everywhere your name does in Canvas.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. That's the kind of question I'm looking for. Anybody have a question about another one? April.
Yeah, just something based on that picture I saw. Does it have to be a picture of ourselves? Because obviously this one is not.
We would prefer that it be you, because your students want to know what you look like. I would just, I had Bullwinkle in there a little while ago. And I've got Natasha around somewhere as well. But yeah, it would be better if it were a picture of you, certainly. But there's nothing that says it has to be a current picture. For years, I used one I took about 20 years ago.
Dave,
until this, you know, I couldn't sell it anymore after a while.
Dave, Pamela here.
That's between you and Canvas. We don't care.
Dave, Pamela here.
I'm sorry?
Pamela, Dave.
Yes, Pamela.
If I were to use the webcam feature, I want to do that. Pretty much same. Yeah.
Take a picture.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh, it's not, it's not, I can't show you that because Zoom is using my camera.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, and I don't have any option to pick another camera here, but it will work. You just say that, click take picture, and then you should see yourself, and then click take a picture and just upload it. Yeah.
Okay.
Professor Dave?
Yes.
About 1.8, there is when you give half credit, and then one of the questions wasn't done, but then you do it again and resubmit. How long it takes to show the change of grade?
It just depends on when somebody gets to it. The way we've apportioned the grading is that everybody who's grading gets a single question to grade, or a couple of them, and they sweep through the course on a regular basis. It's hard to predict when they'll see that. But what you can do to try to get that done is go to the inbox and send a message to all the teachers in the course and say, I've resubmitted assignment so-and-so.
Okay.
That will at least give us, and we try to pick those up as quickly as possible.
I think I did that. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the best you can do. I'm sorry.
I can't copy it to send it. So is there a way to copy what I wrote and then retrieve it from a file or
well,
no?
It still has to be submitted to Canvas. Yeah, you can always copy and paste it using your copy paste tools.
Okay.
But it still has to be submitted to Canvas.
Yeah, I did resubmit, so I'm
That's
not sure
that's
if
all
it's
you
done
can
or
do
not.
at this point. But it should not stop. If it's stopping you from moving forward, please let us know immediately.
No, it's not. I got 5 from 10.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
It will be graded, not to worry.
Thank you.
Because it lights up differently. When you resubmit, we get a little icon that tells us that you've resubmitted.
Okay.
So we know to go back and regrade that. It's not going to get lost permanently. Okay. Any other assignments people are having trouble with? Lots of them in there.
We don't know, because if we are stuck on one and we just got the answer.
I understand. I mean, one that you've gotten to, and we're not going anywhere. If you run into problems later, we do this question and answer session fairly regularly with that in mind. So if you get to something later and you have a question, we'll be here. Anybody else have something now?
Well, I have a question, even though I haven't gotten to it yet, but I do remember someone mentioning that they had done something in discussions, which I think is like module 3 or something, I haven't gotten that far, and she said no one had answered her. So is there a question where we have to be answered by someone before
No,
we can
you
move
don't
forward?
have to wait. You don't have to wait for anyone. There are some discussions where you have to reply to 2 other people.
Yeah, maybe that's what she was talking about. Yeah.
But you just go ahead and do that, and we'll see that as soon as you do it. When the discussion, when you participate in one of the discussions, a little icon appears that tells us you've submitted. And we can go in from that icon in the grade book, we can go into the speed grader and see what you posted.
Okay.
Whether anyone has answered you or not, that doesn't matter.
Right.
You're only responsible for yourself.
Okay.
You're not, no one else is going to prevent you from proceeding.
And you said for the video, we have to create our own video, because I noticed that when you did the video class, you showed us an area like that had a list of videos that are supposed to be approved or something, and Vimeo was one of them. And I found a video that I've used in the classroom, but it's not the full video.
But for the purposes of this assignment, you have to create it yourself. But when you're building out your own course, I mean, if you find something useful on Vimeo or YouTube or TED or Khan Academy or where the million other video sites out on the web that's useful, by all means, you should use those.
But it wasn't.
Because why reinvent the wheel?
But it wasn't closed caption. That's what I didn't understand, or I didn't know how to get to the subtitles, because I know it has subtitles, but I couldn't.
Well, there should, if it's got subtitles, it should have a little CC icon or a link labeled captions or subtitles somewhere. But Vimeo, some things are not captioned. Vimeo doesn't caption things automatically like YouTube does.
But we can't use that for this activity.
So that would be inappropriate to use for instructional purposes if it's not captioned.
But if we caption it, can we use it?
Yes, and there is a way to caption a video on YouTube or Vimeo that you don't own. But trust me when I tell you it's easier to look for another video. It uses a tool called Amara. It involves a lot, basically manually transcribing the video, the soundtrack of the video, or the speech in the video through an interface that's idiosyncratic, to say the least. I don't recommend it. I recommend looking for a different video that is captioned. If you absolutely have to have it, then I can show you how to do it.
Okay, because I do own the video myself, and it has subtitles in it. It's just that I saw it in Vimeo, but it didn't have either the subtitles are hidden. I just couldn't figure out. But I saw the little gear thing, and it didn't have anything that said CC.
If you want to send me the Vimeo link, I'll look at it to see if I can find anything for you.
But I do have the original.
But some videos on Vimeo are not captioned, which is one of the things that makes it less valuable as a source of video than, say, YouTube or TED or some of the other Khan Academy.
By the school, though.
Pardon?
But it is approved, like it's one of the approved videos.
You don't approved, schmooved. If you find it useful and it's legal, I mean, if it's posted publicly, it's legal for you to use it. You ain't no approved. You get to decide what instructional materials you use, not the school. You are a faculty member with academic freedom. And I would dearly hate to be the administrator who told you that something was unapproved after you called Jim Mailer. You know, no, you decide what's appropriate to use in your class, but it does have to be accessible. That's something that everybody would agree on. But if you can find a way to make it accessible, you use it, no matter where you find it.
Dave, before we end, if I could, or at the end, if I could have you walk me through that that chat link that I saved, if you walk me through where I saved it. Okay.
I sure will.
Thank you much.
You bet. And I'm not going to leave as long as anybody has questions, so don't worry about that. But we are at the end of our 2 hours.
Okay.
I certainly, you all are free to leave at any time. I'm gratified that so many of you stayed.
Yes, I am staying. I am staying.
Dave, can I ask you a question?
I will take questions on any topic. So let's just continue. I certainly understand if you need to leave, but I'm not going to leave as long as you stay and have questions. And at this point, I'll take questions on just about anything.
Well, my question is on grading, and it's going to be really fast, which other people might be able to use.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you go through the grade book, it takes you to speed grading, of course. So if you actually wanted to upload the other way to grade assignments would be to go into the assignment itself, then go over to download submissions, and it downloads everybody's as a zip file?
Yes.
Okay.
You could do that. I can't see why you'd want to, but you could do it.
But if you, is there another way to upload an individual's assignment other than going into speed grading, and you can upload it from there too as well, correct?
No, you can't upload an assignment for someone. They have to do it for themselves.
Okay, but I don't mean that. But if they've actually, if they've uploaded it themselves, you can save it if you want to save it to your computer.
Yes.
Okay.
You can you've already found the link to download everything.
Right.
You can also download submissions from the speed grader one at a time.
Okay.
Student by student. Yes.
I occasionally do that if I either have something that's excellent or something that is definitely a problem. So
that's why they provide you that capability.
Yeah, and I have another question, but I'll ask you another time in terms of outcomes. We've gone over it one other time, but I doing my new class for my new classes for the next semester. I may want to put some outcomes in there, and there was a couple things I didn't understand about it. But I'll talk to you another time.
We don't really use that outcomes tool. We don't track ourselves that way.
As long as nobody expects me to use it, that's fine.
You're welcome to tinker with it. No one's expecting you to use that tool in there.
That makes me feel better.
Okay, that was the answer that needs to be heard, right?
That sounds good. Okay, thank you so much, and that answers all my questions. Just when I sent someone to you about the video assignment, who's somebody I teach with for the Administration of Justice program, and I don't know if he got an answer, but it was essentially what to do for that assignment. But he used a different term, like he thought it was a special type of link or something to it, but it's essentially just cutting and pasting the link into the assignment, right? Or the module.
Right.
Okay. Or discussions in this particular case.
Right.
Because
just paste that link in there once you've edited the video,
and I was doing that every week so that I was doing a live recording in Zoom, and then for students who couldn't make it, I just put it in the module for that week.
You can do that, yes.
Okay,
but
great.
In order to, for your own course, you can certainly do that. But for the purposes of training course, just so everything's gathered in one place, we would ask you to put it into that discussion.
In the discussions, no problem at all. Okay, thank you very much. I'll talk to you another time.
I'll look forward to it.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. April, I see your hand up.
Yeah, this is a really silly question, but it shows you how inexperienced I am. Can you just show me quickly how to do the chat that everybody was doing during this?
Absolutely. We had another question about that as well. Let's take that right now.
I see where it is below.
You see it below?
Yes.
So if you click on that little icon, you should see a window that looks like this, which I believe you can see. Can you not?
Yes, I just clicked on it. I can see it.
To put in a message, people are sending me individual messages. I just have to make sure that I'm sending to everyone. To put in a message like my email. I just type it in on this line that says,
I have to move the box. There we
type
go.
message here. So I click on that line to activate the typing cursor. Dave's email, and just put that in. I type that in, and I press the enter key on a PC keyboard or the return key on a Mac, and everybody sees it. All right, and then you get this long string of chat messages.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing about the chats too, that the first time I used Zoom, I lost it. What happens is when you do a screen share, and I have different monitors, and when you do screen share, it'll give you a choice of what you want to share. But once you share it, what you were just looking at disappears. But you will have a menu at the top, and then you have to, but chat I think is, isn't it hidden, Dave? So you have to go up and—
Not really, no.
Okay.
Let me close, I just closed my chat window.
Okay.
I'm sharing my screen right now, and I have settings set in Zoom to show you my Zoom windows as well. So you should be seeing that little share control bar. The chat tool is hidden. That's interesting.
It is hidden.
Should be right there.
If you hit more.
Should be right there.
I think usually it's under more, at least in mine. Huh.
It is. That is more.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why that's happening. They just upgraded. We all just upgraded our clients. Let me try something here. I'm going to stop the share for a second, so you'll be consigned to seeing me for a moment. Sorry about that. Now I want to go over to my Zoom window here. I want to see if that's a security setting. Oh, yeah, no, that's checked. Wanted to make sure that hadn't gotten unchecked. Huh. Can I really not get to the chat tool while I'm sharing the screen anymore?
I just did a day or two ago, and it was after, I think it was after I upgraded.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So
I'll tell you what, I'll do a little research on that. There's probably some way to get there. It's just not the same way it used to be.
They do that on purpose.
Yeah, they're probably considering that to be a security measure, but it's just a pain in the keister.
I hate it when I do things automatically and they've moved.
Yeah, and that's happened to me a lot lately. I especially loved it when Zoom was putting passwords on my meetings without telling me.
Oh, good.
Delay, disable, hide floating meeting controls. I don't want to do that. Share sound, optimize share. Huh. I'll look into that. Thanks.
Thank you.
All
Goodbye,
right.
and I'll see you again soon, probably, as I'm going through the class. Thanks. Take care.
Take care of yourself. I'll be here periodically for a while, it looks like. So.
Okay.
Mary's sending out the schedule each week. Okay.
Can I share my screen now with you?
Yes, please. Go right ahead. Let me undo my share.
Okay.
All right. You can now share your screen.
Okay. I am going to my phone. That's my phone, right? That's my phone. Yes. Okay. And okay. I'll do this. Okay. Okay. And share. Okay. Plugin required. I already have the plugin. Okay. I already have the plugin. Why it's not sharing?
Well, if you're having trouble with that, we may need to meet, Oh, there you go.
Okay.
It's coming through.
Okay.
I don't see it yet. It's working on it, but you have started the sharing process. It'll pop up in a minute.
Okay. And
just not quite yet.
And
there we are. Okay.
And now I'll go to my camera. Oh,
there you go.
Okay, where is, no, not this, not this, not this. Okay, where to go? Okay, here is my
There's your home
screen. Okay, and this is the YouTube channel, right?
Right.
Okay, and this is what, oh, why stopped? I don't know why it stopped, because I have my this is my recording.
Okay. We're just seeing your, yeah, we're not seeing your video at this point. There may be a bandwidth issue there.
Okay, I'll do this again and see if it works or not. Okay. Okay. And then I'll just go to my screen. Oh, oh no, 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 no. No, no, no. Why is this?
Screen sharing on a phone is a little bit more complex. Getting it the way you want to, but we were not seeing your YouTube video. And if the video, once the video is up on YouTube, you want to stop using your phone and go to your computer and work with it on your computer. You can't, once you get it uploaded, there's nothing, realistically, there's nothing more you can do on your phone.
I think it's already also on my computer.
Well, yeah, it's on YouTube. So you can access it through your computer.
Right,
you can access YouTube through your computer, and you'll have to do that in order to edit your captions, for instance.
Okay.
And then get the link for it. So you're done with your phone as far as this assignment is concerned.
Excuse me, Dave. It sounds like she's recording in Arabic and wants the translation to, she wants the subtitles in English. So
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. We're having a hard time. Let me.
She's recording in Arabic, and so the problem with the transcription is that she wants a translation and subtitles in English. So what she's trying to do is much more complicated than what this assignment is asking for.
It is. It is. That is very true. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. In that event, you would have to set your default language in YouTube to Arabic and the appropriate dialect. And then YouTube would probably caption it. But at this point, what you want to do for this assignment is simply to record in English. And I'll be happy to work with you on the other so that you can get videos that you actually need for your courses up, and we can explore what YouTube can do for you there.
Okay, I'll do it. Just saying congratulations to my students for graduation, and I wanted, and I already did the description of what I'm saying, and I wanted to go on that where it's, you know, on the picture itself, on the video itself. So that's why I can get it
captioned. Yeah, and if you have captioned, if you have a soundtrack, or I'm sorry, a transcript, I'll get the right word out in a minute. If you have a transcript of what you said in the video, you can upload that to YouTube, and YouTube will generate captions from it. That's an advanced technique that we haven't covered here, but I'll be happy to go through that with you. If you have a captions or a transcript typed out, we can try uploading those to YouTube and see if it won't just fit those in for you.
A transcript Word or PDF, does it matter?
They need to be in a text format that you can copy and paste.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll,
And Daryl.
I'll just repeat and I'll do it in English.
That will
will
take
be
care of it.
easier. That's why I'm stuck for more than 20 hours on it.
I see. Oh my goodness.
I really been working. I don't sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm really trying to do it.
That was not our intent. I assure you. I admire you for trying something more complex, but you don't have to do that to satisfy this assignment.
Okay. Okay.
And Daryl, you've been patiently waiting.
Yes. Can you walk me to where that link is so I can copy it?
Sure will. I'm sharing my screen. And are you on a Windows PC or a Mac?
Yes, I'm on a Windows.
Oh, that's good, because that's what I can show you.
Windows 10.
All right. For our sins, that's where we all are. Okay. So, were you okay with the process of saving it?
I clicked on save and I noticed it saved. I just don't know where to retrieve
Where
it.
is it? Exactly. Okay. You'll go to your File Explorer. Probably the easiest way is the little folder icon in your taskbar down here.
Okay. Right now I've got my system tray with all the Zoom stuff, so I'm
the little
limited.
file folder icon.
Yeah,
or you can just right-click on the Start button.
I can't.
On the Start button and open File Explorer will work too.
I can't even get there because of the system tray.
Okay.
The Zoom system tray is in my way.
Take Zoom out of full screen. Just click on the Zoom screen anywhere and hit Escape, and that should take it out of full screen.
So click on
anywhere on the Zoom window.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then
All right.
hit the Escape button, and it should give you your taskbar back at the bottom.
Okay. So I clicked on the Start button, or do you want me to
right click?
Right click. Okay.
And
I'm
you
there.
should have an option to open File Explorer, just as you're seeing here, down in my lower left here.
I've got mine up. Open File Explorer. I see File Explorer. Okay.
Excellent.
Click on that.
Yep. And
All right.
just as I have here.
All right.
Go to your Documents library.
Okay.
There should be a link to that in the left
I'm there.
pane of File Explorer.
Okay.
Scroll down, I'm assuming you've got this sorted alphabetically. If not, just look for a folder called Zoom. It's probably at the bottom of the folder list.
Got videos.
Nope.
Okay.
Looking for Zoom in the right pane.
Okay, I'm in my documents.
Documents. Zoom is subfolder Zoom under Documents library.
I don't have that.
You have it alphabetical. You might have to hit name and it'll alphabetize it.
Yeah.
What I've got is I've got 3D objects, desktop, documents, download music, pictures, videos, and then it just says local drive C.
You're not in your Documents library yet. Do you see documents in the list there?
I've clicked on my documents. It says documents, this PC. So I've clicked on that. I'm over to the left hand. Okay, I'm over. Okay, there's Zoom. There's a folder. Gotcha.
Very good.
Double click on the folder.
Double click the folder.
Okay. And
you won't have that many subfolders in there. You'll have a few, maybe just one.
So it's 2026-9, Dave Gibson's personal meeting.
135908 is the time stamp probably.
14, yeah.
Time stamp doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just double click that folder to open it up.
Okay. Gotcha. I've done
You should
that.
have a file named meeting saved
Save chat.
chat.txt.
Yes.
And
Open
just
that.
double click that with the left mouse button.
Gotcha.
And it should open up in Notepad.
Yes.
That's it.
And then I need to find the URL.
Now, it's a treasure hunt, yeah.
To make it easier, Dave, would you mind if I just gave you my email address and you could just email that to me? Would that be?
I was going to just suggest if you'll email me, I'll send it to you. I can send you the chat log because I have it. When you record, if your Zoom settings are at the defaults, when you record a meeting, it automatically saves the chat log to the same folder that you're looking at here. And
Okay.
I'll be happy to send that to you.
And that's dgiberson@sdccd.edu.
No N.
No
They couldn't
N.
afford the N.
Okay. DIGBERSSO, right?
SO at
Okay.
sdccd.edu. And
Okay.
I'll be happy to send that to you. That's
Okay. And then all I need to do is go to open up that link, and that's where I'll register for this current certification class then.
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I'll send you the chat log, but I'll send you the URL as well, so you don't have to look for it.
I appreciate that.
Okay. I'm more than happy to do.
Okay. Thank you very much. I do appreciate I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Been my pleasure.
Yes, Kathy.
Okay, this is more of a Zoom question, but I was told that Zoom can do like a list of attendance. And the only way I've been able to figure it out is when students actually write into the chat room their full name. And so
that's why I usually ask everyone to put their name and email address in. Okay. I didn't do that today. I forgot. And some will comply and some will not. There is an automatic attendance feature you can use with Zoom, but it's predicated on you setting up the meeting in such a way that people have to register for it.
Oh, so if I make it,
which is another hurdle to get over to get into the meeting. So I choose not to use that.
Like if you have the personal meeting,
static from the powers that be on that, but I just don't want to make it any more difficult to get into my meetings than it has to be.
Okay, and what about in Canvas? Well, actually, if I'm going
in Canvas?
Actually, no. If I'm going to meet with the students, it's best to do it by Zoom. So just have them print their name in, like a sign-in sheet, sort of.
Right.
Okay.
The chat log becomes a sign-in sheet, and you have to go through and pick them out. That's why I try to do that at the beginning of the meeting and ask everybody to do it right then so that they're all at the top. And if I pull up that chat log again, I think you can see that a lot of people put theirs in up near the top.
Right.
So, but it can be a little bit of a
forget.
Ask to pull those out. But that's how I go back and do my reporting on numbers of people who attended.
Okay.
They haven't asked me for actual rosters, just numbers. But you probably want to know who's been in there, and that the chat log is a good way to do that.
Especially since we have to drop students after a certain period, and it's kind of hard to keep track.
Exactly. Attendance. I hear you. All right. Anybody else or anything else from anybody?
Well, I think April asked about if you didn't have a smartphone. So there's Screencast-O-Matic.
You could use Screencast-O-Matic, and you can upload from Screencast-O-Matic to YouTube directly.
Okay, and I have Camtasia.
Or Camtasia. Any screencasting tool will work fine.
But I
But
can edit here instead of YouTube.
right. Well, if you use Camtasia, of course, the great advantage is you can edit before you upload to YouTube.
Okay.
But that's scarcely necessary for this assignment, but it's useful sometimes. I've had Zoom meetings where something confidential came up, and I didn't want it shared with the world or with the district. So I went in and I chopped that out before I uploaded it to YouTube in Camtasia. That's handy, but it's not something I do very often.
Right. Because
we don't have that option when we lecture live, right? We can't say, wait a minute, disregard that. Rewind. Play again. When we're working through something on the board and we go down a rabbit hole and end up in the wrong place. That ever happened to you? Disregard everything I said since 3 o'clock. And here we go again. When you're recording in Zoom, you can go back and cut that out. So it's nice to have that option. At least then only the people who are there live think you're, start wondering if you're having a senior moment or something. But if we were worried about that sort of thing, we would have given up teaching years ago, right?
But if you wanted students to have a copy of themselves, we can make that available, or it's best just to give them that whole day or tell them to watch it themselves, or.
But what exactly do you want to have the student have a copy of?
Like if there's one where I want students to watch themselves on video, or if they want to watch themselves, is there a link that I can give to them? Or because I seem like that'd be a very long link to do the whole class.
Yeah, you'd have to cut it out and upload that segment separately, or cut it out, and if it's a small enough file, you could send it to them in an email. Okay,
it's best not to get involved there.
It's tedious for you. You'd have to have a really good reason to want to do that. Otherwise, when they play one of these things back, like let's go to, I don't have that up. Go to our on-demand video site, and you pull up one of these recordings in Workshop Archives. Your students would be pulling yours up in Canvas, probably. And here was our intermediate Zoom session the other day. I'll just pick that one at random. When you play this, you can grab the little playback cursor and you can scrub forward, and you can see, especially if you stop every now and then, you can see what's going on. It's a little easier to see if you full screen it and let YouTube catch up with you. And you can get a pretty good idea of what's going on. And you can just wait until you see yourself. Whatever, just keep dragging through. When you find what you're interested in, you can just play from that point. Okay. I am sharing my screen, yes. It works better that way. And it requires less processing from your computer's CPU to do it. So it's always possible for people to fast forward through a long recording to find the section they want.
Okay.
And you can do that on the Zoom Cloud too. As a matter of fact, in the Zoom Cloud, you can actually search the captions. If there's a keyword that would indicate, if it's a special topic, you can search for it. So you can actually do that in YouTube as well. I'm sorry?
Where is that?
Sorry about that, too many of me. If you go to the video on YouTube, which you can always do when it's embedded like this, you can go to YouTube and find the video, the actual YouTube page for the video. And under this little menu here, just to the right of the share and save buttons, there's a little more menu, and there's an open transcript option. and there is, that's not your captions per se, that's your transcript. It does have time stamps, but you can go in here and you can, I think you can Control F and search for like introductory. And you can find it and see where you are in the transcript, and then click on that. Well, no, actually you can't. Can you click from there? Yeah. If you click there, it will move the playhead on the video to that point. And then you hit
the
play.
introductory sessions are not much time for.
And you can do, it's even easier in the Zoom recordings. You can search for a keyword and jump right to that word in the video and find something that you're looking for if it's identifiable by a keyword. If you can remember what you said at that point, and it's a word that's not A-N-V or something like that. So these transcripts are always available.
That's only if it goes to the cloud, not when you have it saved to your desktop.
Correct. Correct. It has to have been uploaded to YouTube or to the Zoom cloud. Yeah, but you can download these captions. You have to be, only if it's your video. You can go to edit video from this. That will take you into the YouTube studio. And you can go to subtitles and find your published subtitles and download them. Where'd that go? Whoa, I lost the window. There we go. The default is an SBV file. Let's see. That's a certain type of caption file.
Oh, okay.
Which we can, let me just put that somewhere on my desktop. And I can go and open that up. I just want Notepad. There we go. Okay. That's what an SBV caption file looks like. It's got the timestamp above the caption. There are ways, some programs can use that, others can't, but you can get the text at least that way. There's a way to convert that into another type of caption file called an SRT file, which Camtasia can import. So if you have the video in Camtasia, you can download the captions from YouTube and convert the captions to an SRT file, upload them into Camtasia, and suddenly you have a captioned Camtasia project that you can do anything you want with. It's not something you do unless you had a specific reason. For instance, I've had faculty have a video, say on a DVD, that was not captioned, and I've been able to rip the video off the DVD and upload just the soundtrack to YouTube with a still image as the video, and have YouTube do the captioning and not gig me for a copyright hit, and then download the captions and import them into Camtasia and then render it out again and produce a captioned file that could be a captioned video that could be uploaded, that could be burned onto a DVD or put somewhere other than YouTube that could be used. But it would be some strange application like that that would require you to have those captions, that transcript. but you never know.
I think doesn't like Camtasia's not saved or screen. Now I'm getting confused. One of them is no longer Mace doesn't subscribe to anymore when you
Camtasia Relay. We no longer have Camtasia Relay, but Camtasia itself, the actual the full Camtasia version is still certainly available. Matter of fact, they just put out a new update a couple of weeks ago called Camtasia 2020. I'm pulling up the previous one right now. I haven't downloaded, I haven't bought the new one yet. I usually try to stay updated on that. Let's see.
Yeah, you got to pay for the update because I had a 2019 popped up on my computer, and
yeah,
I had to.
Yeah. $90, please, or thereabouts. Yeah.
I paid $180 one time, and that's one time I'm only going to pay once.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the upgrades are usually not 180. They're usually about half of that. But yeah, and there's usually no need to. Even the version of Camtasia from
TechSmith,
4 or 5 years ago still works fine. I've still got it. I signed up some years ago as one of their beta testers, so I get the new ones free when they come out, which is very decent of them. But there's the current that's the next to current one, and the current one doesn't look much different.
And the original doesn't look much different either. I just need a refresher course on it.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes the only reason I ever bring up Camtasia is to edit.
Okay.
Recording is more easily done with Screencast-O-Matic or Snagit or Zoom. There's so many options now, but Camtasia still has the best mid-range video editor I've ever seen. And if you're actually editing the video, not the captions, but the video itself, and you want to put in special effects and things like that, it's about the only one that I've seen that is really realistically accessible in terms of the learning curve and things like that to someone who's not a video geek. Okay. It's this editor anybody can learn to use in a few hours, as opposed to there are some that are free that are quite powerful, but the learning curve is such that your time's worth a lot more than that. So, unless it's a hobby, you wouldn't find it worthwhile. Camtasia, on the other hand, you can learn to do basic stuff very quickly, and the $170 price is well worth it if you're going to have to edit your videos fairly frequently.
And the tutorial, you do have the tutorial and on demand that I can go view again as a refresher. Yeah,
it's not as current as I would like. It's still useful, but it's not. But with Camtasia, you don't have to worry about that. You can go to the help button and video tutorials. And the people who made Camtasia will show you how to use it.
Okay.
And here is everything: record, editing, basics, everything you'd ever want to know. And they're professionally produced. I mean, these people are very good. So it's better than mine. So the incentive for me to remake these videos is pretty low because theirs are excellent. And they keep them very short too. That's why there's a bunch of them.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Handles a little bite-sized piece.
And for the lesson 2.7, it doesn't matter whether I edit through Camtasia or if I edit through YouTube.
For that assignment, you don't have to edit the video. All you have to do is edit the captions.
Edit the captions.
And that you do through YouTube or through the Zoom cloud, depending on where you send your video.
Okay. Thanks, Dave. I didn't want to monopolize your time.
Oh, no. I'm here to answer questions. It's fun to answer something a little bit more advanced like that. But you don't have to worry about this sort of thing to satisfy assignment 2.7. You just go to YouTube, as I showed. And I'm redoing our YouTube caption editing tutorial right now. So I'll have it up there in a day or two on our on-demand site. I've already done the video on how to record using your smartphone. Now I'm doing the one on how to edit the captions, which is basically identical to what I showed you today. And I'll have that up on the on-demand site shortly. So everything you need to know to do 2.7 is what I'm trying to put up there, so that people will be able to go and look at it quickly and not have to sit through 2 hours of this session in order to find it. And since there's no questions being asked, it takes maybe 3 minutes for me to show you how to do it.
All right, thanks, Dave. Awesome as always.
Take care, Kathy. Good to see you. You too, Vicki. Just the two of you left. All righty, take care.